Raise your hand if you haven't heard about Man's Best Friend. Exactly. Whether you have heard it or not, I'm sure you are familiar with all the controversies this album has gone through, starting with the lyrics, following with the aesthetics, the cover of the album. Nevertheless, the public opinion is quite diverse. I have found on TikTok and on the internet in general, many people enjoying the songs, vibing to them, relating to the lyrics, doing a lot of TikToks with them, with the album. But on the other side, I've also seen a lot of different points of view that criticize the aesthetics of the album itself. But in this video, we won't really address the controversies and all of the internet things. Rather than that, the idea that pushed me to do this video is these comments that I was listening to, that I was reading on the internet about these two albums being the same thing. To be completely honest, I don't think these albums are strangers. I think Short and Sweet didn't end with a period. I think it rather ended with a comma, and the continuity of the story is Man's Best Friend. So I kind of was listening to Man's Best Friend, and I was thinking, I kind of see the story, I kind of see the continuity, so I'm going to share it with you guys, because why not? But before starting, I would like to let it clear that this is not a psychological analysis of Sabrina Carpenter. This story has been built by myself. Even if it's based on the albums, on the songs, on the lyrics, I do not attribute these features or these characteristics of the character to Sabrina Carpenter, because I don't know her, and it's not my intention to portray her as anything. I would just build a character based on my own interpretation, that of course is based on my own interpretation. We're starting with Short and Sweet, the first chapter, the first book of this story. Built on the character, I think there is no doubt that it's a she, it's a female. She's short, she's sweet looking, cute, she's innocent looking, blonde, she has curls, she's Sabrina Carpenter. In this first chapter, the protagonist dressed in very light colors, soft bluesy makeup with a lot of blush and pink lips. And on the other hand, the wardrobe is quite revealing. She's not really hiding her body. I'm not saying she should. She definitely shouldn't. It's kind of like a very good mix between Marilyn Monroe and Betty Boop. I think the contradiction in the wardrobe is mirrored in the songs and in songs of this album, because the beats are poppy and light, like the colors she uses, but at the same time the lyrics are quite sexual. They have like double meanings. She really addresses like quite explicit topics, which relates to the tight clothing, the voluminous hair. I think in this album she's a femme fatale disguised as a cute, innocent girl. I think she portrays herself as innocent, sweet, everything a man would want in a woman, like being sweet and short. It's just a facade that she has been building, she has been preparing. It seems like she's been analyzing everything she can use to attract a man in order finally to destroy him. She knows that people, especially men, will underestimate her, but I think that is the point. She doesn't want them to see her coming. She wants them to feel betrayed. Am I overanalyzing? Probably. But the real question is, why would a woman spend so much time trying to build a character that fools men? I think the answer is quite simple, because she's been the one being played all the time, and she did not see that coming, so now people won't see her coming anymore. Am I saying this is a healthy dynamic? Definitely not. So this Short and Sweet chapter starts to me in a house. We're gonna call it the house number one. In this house, it happens a relationship between this protagonist, this main character, and a man. This relationship is nothing but a toxic come and go dynamic. Also, Sabrina let us know that she knows that he is not over his ex-partner, so she is feeling, of course, insecure, small, less. Starting with Sharpest Tool, I think the song is quite interesting. She expresses her disgust on a man that only uses her for pleasure. Several times she repeats, we don't talk about it, we don't talk anymore. She actually communicates the lack of communication, and that kills her because that makes her feel less and insecure and small and nothing compared to maybe the woman that he really wants. Also, I think she uses a very funny defense mechanism. She's like, I know you're not the sharpest tool. Like, I know you're not that much. She's basically saying, I know I can get a better man. I know I don't belong here. I don't belong to you, to your world. But here I am, waiting to find in you the acceptance that I need and refusing to let you go, even though I know we don't belong to each other. But I think this is a bit sad because I think she accepts the love she thinks she deserves. But I would rather stay here in this house, even if I don't belong, because leaving this house would mean not belonging, and that feels very terrifying. To this house it also belongs Lie to Girls. I think the song is so relatable. Like, it's like, you don't even need to lie to me. I will lie to myself just to build a perfect image of you that doesn't even exist. And I think that's a very toxic dynamic within yourself and within herself. But it's very brave to, admit it out loud. Like, you know what? I am actually the one who is lying to herself, because I know deep down how you feel. I know deep down what you're doing to me. I know you don't love me. I know I don't belong here. Coincidence, I think, is very like Lie to Girls. The message that I get is, if a girl likes you and she doesn't love herself, she will do anything to make you feed her ideal and her romanticized version of who you truly are. But she knows, deep down she knows. I would rather stay here, even if it's painful, even if it hurts, because at least I have someone, at least I belong somewhere, even if it's a completely horrible and ugly house. The next song that belongs to this house is Bad Reviews. I think this song continues with the theme of self-deception. She just avoids listening to what people... I think at this point, she's starting to leave the house. She's not fully outside yet, but she is on her way. She's like opening the door, but still looking inside. It is what I've been saying, that she would rather stay in that home that is completely unsafe and cold and dark rather than stepping outside, because she doesn't know what she can find outside. Even if this house is unsafe and cold, it's a house. Okay, so now she has stepped out of the house, out of the first house. She's in the garden. From the outside, the house looks cute. It's petite, colorful. It seems perfect and cozy. But on the inside, she knows it's dark because she's been living there. She knows how it is. She knows that she's sleeping on the floor. She has no mattress. The heater doesn't work. She can barely use the shower. On the outside, it is the perfect home. On the inside, it is survival. That is her. On the outside, she's cute and funny, and she does this jokes about sex and how free she feels. But on the inside, she is completely alone and sad. She doesn't love herself. It looks like I'm being a bit tough with her. Girl, we are all like that, so don't even worry. She is now looking for another house desperately. She's like, I need to spend the night somewhere tonight. In this garden, the songs that belong are Good Grace, Slim Pickens, and Couldn't Make It Any Harder. In Good Grace, she finally wakes up. I think she finally stops lying to herself. She becomes aware of her position and she starts showing to him and to herself that as much as she has been the one romanticizing him, she also has the power to say, let's stop now. And now the house on the outside doesn't look like it used to look. Now it looks ugly. It's not pink anymore. It's kind of gray. The windows are broken. There are a lot of spiders. In Slim Pickings, she clearly explains how, yeah, she left that ugly house, but she still feels the same. She really shows the little respect she has for herself. Like, I would accept literally, slim pickings from men that I don't even like, just because I need that validation of being wanted. I need that because that's how I validate myself. Could we judge her? Could we judge our character? I don't think so, because who wants to sleep alone at night in the middle of the nature? No one. And Couldn't Make It Any Harder, I think she shows her vulnerable side. Like, well, among these ugly houses, there are some houses that are actually quite good, actually quite warm. There are men that make me feel good, that don't have toxic dynamics. But somehow, I don't want to stay in those houses. I don't know how to live in those houses. These houses are too nice, too pretty, too calm. It's not what I deserve. So she finally finds a good house. Why does she want to stay in this house? Because it's quite similar to house one. But one particular thing is that she doesn't enter from the front door, but she climbs and enters through the window, through the upper window. Inside is fun, not like the other one. It's like party, it has a disco ball, it's, decorated with party things, but actually it's empty. It doesn't have a couch, a bed. It doesn't have a proper kitchen. But it's fun to stay there because it's partying, it's fun, and that's what she needs after she's been living in that horrific house. So these are the songs that belong to this house number 2. These songs express fun, enjoying sex with this new man. She's joking, vibing. It's not very deep. It's just espresso, bedcam. We're having fun. I'm enjoying being here, but she's not talking about anything that, has to do with feeling. She has just left a very traumatic house. And suddenly everything is so fun. It looks like she is trying to, gaslight herself and, try to feel better. And she finds shelter in this not very deep experiences. I find it really interesting because in Don't Smile, her facade kind of disappears for a tiny little bit. She's having fun in this house number 2, but she's kind of looking through the window to see house number 1, because I don't want them to have fun there. I don't want them. I want you to be suffering the same amount of sufferment that I have experienced. And Please, 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 I love this song. I love this song a lot. She's like, please, don't be like house number 1. I hope you can be a nice house. I think in this song is the first time she's actually expressing the desire to be loved the way she wants to be loved. I have a sour feeling with Taste because I think it's very questionable that she's like, oh, now you're tasting him, now you will be tasting my lips or me when you kissed him. And it's okay, I'm not saying Sabrina wanted to express this, but I read it in a way of, I'm gonna try to make you feel as insecure is when I was with him. Because when I was with him and I kissed him, I would feel that I was kissing other girls' lips because he was definitely not interested in me. And now you're going to suffer. But I think the lyrics is a bit shady, like it's complicated, but it fits into this house number 2 in which she is actually looking at house number 1 in case they're having more fun than her. There is another element in the landscape that I want to name that is like kind of like the moon above that is watching everything she's living. And to this part of the landscape, the songs that belong are 15 minutes and Needless to Say. These 2 songs seem to be written from a point of view that it's outside of her present self, almost like a past or future self that is watching and looking at her. It's like as if the moon was saying, I see the life you're living. I see how you try to have fun, how you joke about this man and this other man and whatever. But I know how hurt you are. I know what you dream of. I know that you want love. I know that you want real love. I know that you're trying to look in every corner of this house number 2, everything you need. I know that you need to get lost in order to finally find your path. Maybe this is too much of an analysis. But in 15 minutes, she plays with fame, growth, and fleeting success. And finally, here in this clouds, moon part of the landscape, we have Needless to Say, which I consider the bridge between Short and Sweet and Man's Best Friend. It is a call of maturity, like work on yourself instead of criticizing others. And she reminds us that happiness comes from within. But as I'm saying, it looks as if the Sabrina that is in the house number 1 is not the one who is singing this. It's somehow like her upper level of consciousness that actually knows what's going on. Okay, so jump scare. We are still in house number 2, but we have changed the book. Now we are in Man's Best Friend. So basically, in this album, in this new book, we still have the same character, but she suddenly is portraying herself aesthetically in a different way. She's not wearing baby blue and soft eyeshadows anymore. Now she's wearing black tight dresses and high heels, and her hair is not that voluminous anymore, and her makeup is like smoky eye with red lips. She is finally portraying herself as the femme fatale she was behaving like. So she continues having fun. The songs that belong to this part of the house are Tears, House Tour, and Don't Worry, I'll Make You Worry. In Tears, she's horny. That's fine. House Tour, I think, really connects with this story that I've been building. She's portraying herself as a house, and I think it's really funny. It really connects with this story. In Don't Worry, I'll Make You Worry, I feel like the vibe changes a little bit compared with Tears and House Tour. Now the melody is soft, is very kind of like heavenly, but the lyrics is like she enjoys making her partner anxious, and she's aware of her weapons, and she's aware of her position. Also, I have done a cover of this song in my other YouTube channel, so if you want to hear it, go there. She starts visiting some other floors of the house, and she reaches to the middle floor. Suddenly, this middle floor is not that fun. She's realizing that there are actually no furnitures, nowhere to actually sleep. And now is when the disenchantment begins. And the songs that belong to this floor are Sugar Talking, Such a Funny Way, and My Man on Willpower. So in Sugar Talking, she's basically saying, you know what, these speeches, these long text messages that you were sending to me are not hitting anymore. Like, It's not working tonight, babe. It's not working tonight. I think it is really funny when she says, and are you tired of saying a whole lot of nothing? Like you are empty. Like this house. I find it really interesting too when she says, you fill my apartment with flowers that die. I think it relates a lot with this story, with this, narrative of the houses. And it is like this house number 1 is filled with flowers that, look pretty, but those flowers are not planted anywhere, so they will die eventually. So they are ephemeral. It's ephemeral fun. Such a funny way, I think, has a funny way of expressing how deeply hurt she is. She makes it light, like, you have such a funny way of being an asshole. You have such a funny way of loving me while the only thing I feel is pain and distance and rejection. My man on willpower, I think, is the biggest representation in this flaw of the house of disenchantment. She's basically saying at first, in the beginning, she was everything I was looking for. He was obsessed with me. He wanted me. He was nice. And now, what has changed in me for him to change? And that thought makes you so insecure and makes you so fragile and sad, because you think you have now to change everything that you do and everything that you are in order for him to again behave the way he was behaving. And I find it really, really sad, because I think we all can relate to this feeling of trying things to feel like they used to feel again. And she says, not even my slutty pajamas and not even me trying again will make him be the same man that he was before when I met him, right? And I think that this is a very powerful way of torturing psychologically someone. At first, love bombing them, like, yeah, I love you, I'm obsessed with you, I want to take you on a date, and I will buy you this, and I'm blah, 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 blah. And then suddenly it's cold, and you think it's your fault. It must be me. It must be that I'm not, sexy enough anymore. It must be that he is, he's done with me. I'm boring to him. And that is hard. So I think this song, it's really deep, even if it might not sound like that. So finally, she reaches the basement of the house, the reality. She faces reality finally. This house is empty. It's not broken, but it's empty. And it's lonely. There's nobody inside. It was just her all the time. The songs that belong to this basement are Go Go Juice, Nobody's Son, and We Almost Broke Up Last Night. In Nobody's Son, she really expresses the dynamics of the relationship. He reaches to her after they broke up. It's empty words, what he's saying. And she again feels bad because he's not coming back to her as she would like him to sees, because all her friends are in love and having fun and having these healthy and beautiful relationships, and there she is in the basement of a house alone, waiting for a call that won't come. On We Almost Broke Up Last Night, I think she's again showing this toxic dynamic of coming and going and leaving and coming again and saying sorry and saying I love you. It's a loop, I would say. I think this loop is really portrayed when she says, we've been here before and we will be here tomorrow. In Go Go Juice, she comes back to this facade of being that funny, crazy femme fatale that she portrays herself as. She's like, well, yeah, I'm just drinking to call someone. I'm doing this intentionally. It's not that I'm hurt and I literally need someone tonight. So now she finally leaves the house. Finally. The songs that belong to this moment are Man-Child, Never Getting Laid, and Goodbye. Goodbye is literally leaving the house. And I feel she's leaving this house in a different way that she left the first one. This time she's actually running away. When she left house number 1, I felt she was, walking very slow, like, okay, I'm leaving. And I feel that now she has literally run away from that house. Where is she now? Is she in a garden? Is she in another house? Where is she going to? She's moving to another city, to another state, to another country. Will he finally build her own house? We don't know. We will have to wait for the next album, I'm afraid. So you may be wondering what happens with When Did You Get Hot? And honestly, I'm a bit lost with that song. I don't know exactly where to place it. So I'm gonna leave it to you guys. You guys tell me, where in this map do you think When Did You Get Hot belongs to? So my final reflection, I think these two albums are not very far away from each other, but I mean that is not a bad thing. Like they are just 1 year away from each other, and I think the protagonist of this story hasn't overcome the toxic dynamics that made the house number 1 to fall down. So of course house number 2 is going to fall down again, and she's going to repeat dynamics, even if she does it in a slightly different way. She's in a loop, and I think that that's valid and that's real, because sometimes in life we get trapped in loops. So to say that Sabrina Carpenter's lyrics might be slightly empty, to me, it's a mistake. I completely respect and understand other points of view, but I think in that jokes and emptiness that people see, there is a deep hurt woman that just wants to talk about how hurt she is. But letting people know your weaknesses doesn't sound good. To me, 80% of the songs that she writes are sad songs. Even the upbeat ones, they portray a woman that uses sarcasm and sex jokes and double meanings, not just for fun, but as a way of showing how little she loves herself and the low place she puts herself compared to the men she falls for. I feel it's valid to express pain laughing and joking about it. I'm gonna let you know what my favorite song of each album is. My favorite song of Short and Sweet is Busy Woman. I love that song so much. And my favorite song of Man's Best Friend is We Almost Broke Up Last Night. I really love that song. So let me know down in the comments which songs are your favorite ones, or maybe if you don't like the albums, if you think this story that I made is completely stupid and useless. I kind of agree. You can also tell me what are your thoughts. Like, do you think house number 2 never existed, or house number 1 never existed, or how would you build this story? Some things that you disagree with me. Anything, tell me down below in the comments. I would love to listen to you guys. I wish in the next album we can see another version of her, because I feel that in these 2 past albums, the center has been her relationships with men, which is okay, is a huge part of anyone's life. But I feel like she's talking about men and talking about how they treat her and how she treats them. But I don't feel she's talking about how she treats herself, because how she lets them treat them is a reflection of how she treats herself. And I would say I think I would love to see an album in which she actually talks about herself and to herself. I would love to see that. I would love to see her building her own house number 3. I would love to see that. If you like the video, you can give it a like and subscribe, and yeah, you can follow me on my other social media, and see you next week.